Hello, everyone. It's Kathy. I'm here for my Tuesday night tea talk. I know it said 7:30, but I usually do 7 o'clock, so here I am. Hopefully, you can join me either way or catch the replay. Let me introduce myself. I'm Kathy. I'm a tea leaf reader and a sipology or steep tea consultant. I've been with steep tea for over 8 years, providing quality loose leaf tea and tea accessories, and really love doing that. Hi, Karen's here already. Thanks for joining me. Um, and I'm also a tea leaf reader. Been doing that 3.5 years now professionally, and helping people with those pressing questions that need answering, and just having fun being able to provide some information for people that are looking for answers. So that's what I do. Today we're going to talk about the symbols, some of the symbols that might appear in your teacup when we do a tea leaf reading. I am using my tea leaf reading fortune cards, they're called, just because they have symbols on them. Obviously, it's very hard to show you a symbol inside the cup, so we're going to start with a couple of the common ones. I thought I'd just pick out like 4 or 5, and here I am with like 20 of them. So we'll go through a bunch of them, and hopefully it'll all make sense to you. Oh, hi, Jennifer. I see you're here too. Thank you for joining me. If you guys have questions as I'm going along, please feel free to plug that in too. But I'm just going to start. Well, the first one I picked up was the heart. So a heart's really a shape that would be fairly easy to determine that it's a heart in a teacup. Sometimes they're small, sometimes they're big. I usually say that they're related to someone that have passed. So my experience with the hearts is more that their connection, as I said, to someone that may have passed. What this actual card says is love, deep affection, and caring. So it depends on where this heart is. So maybe we see a symbol of someone that looks like a man or a woman. So this could, have to do with a relationship that is current. So again, it all depends on where it is in the cup, what question you ask too, because I always say to people as we're setting up the teacup that you should ask a question. So if you had asked me a question about your current relationship, this would have been a great symbol for you to get, because it would indicate that there is that love there, and a heart would be a very, very nice symbol. So there we go. Ah. Karen's asking me a very specific question. I meant more a generic question than a specific question. But I'll see if I have time near the end to actually answer that question for you, Karen. And if not, I'll do it offline. So, and I'll message you the answer to your specific question about, and this is the problem with the camera. I'm turning it the wrong way. So I'll do that for you later, Karen. But yeah, so there's our first symbol, a heart. I want to talk about a key as well. So a key to me indicates that someone maybe might be getting a new home. So again, it depends on what they asked before. Oh, hi, Alana. She's here too. Thanks for joining me. Someone may have asked the question before we started about whether or not they might get a new home shortly. And a key would have been a good indicator that that answer is yes. What the card actually says is successful outcome to your problems. So think of what a key might do if you had like a treasure chest, or even as I mentioned about a house. So a key is that symbol of having, being able to unlock something or being able to get something that you want. So a key, again, is a nice symbol to get in your teacup here. Let's see what else I brought. Oh, the owl. I like the owl a lot too, because the owl means that you're going to be dealing with someone that's wise and is able to provide you some answers. So good advice from a wise person. So the owl, and again, when you see the symbol in the teacup, it should be pretty obvious, again, an owl as opposed to some other animal or a bird. I did have some birds in here as well, if I can find my birds. Oh, oh, there we go. I put them aside. So an owl is different than having a bird flying. So a bird flying would indicate that there's news on the way. And a bird perch, so if you see it kind of sitting on a stick, that would indicate that you're actually waiting for news. So there's a difference between a couple different birds. So if you saw a symbol that actually had the bird flying, that meant that the news was coming quickly, where the bird perched is implying that you're actually waiting for it. And a lot of times, I don't know why I'm saying this, but a lot of times that has to do with legal things too, when you're that perching and sitting there. Not always, but I've found that that tends to be. And then the owl, again, a bird, but totally different meaning. It's that counsel with someone who is wise and can provide you some information. So there we go. We've got birds covered. Oh, since we're talking about animals, let's talk about a dog. So I like the dogs too, because the dog indicates someone that's loyal. So think of that unconditional love. Think of that, someone that's right by your side. Dog's very loyal. So again, depending on what question you may have asked or what you're looking for, a dog is a nice symbol to see, as opposed to a cat. Nothing against cats, and I am a dog person. We live with that, but nothing against cats. But cats, in generally, are implying that there's a person that might be two-faced or might not be showing you everything or telling you everything. Cats are a little bit more sly and sneaky and stuff. So, dog or cat lover, but different things for different ones. Now, again, for my cat lovers, I have had people that have asked me about pets and whether they should get a new pet and what pet, and then the cat came, and so obviously that wasn't in anything to do with a person. That had to do with a cat, and it was just a good symbol for them to say maybe you should look at getting a cat as opposed to a dog or a goldfish or whatever. So the question that you ask is important too. So there we go. There's some animals. And recently, I guess last week when I did my thing, we had the whale too, right? So the whale's an interesting one too, because the whale says, "Great worry over nothing." Now, it might be a little more hard to distinguish in a teacup whether or not it's a whale or a fish or whatever. So this is when my intuition comes in and I decide what it looks like to me, or what it might be symbolizing. Again, the question that someone asks. So, maybe they're asking about a relationship, or maybe they're asking about money, and the whale's kind of saying to them, okay, like, stop worrying. Everything's good. So, and another animal, the lobster. Now, the lobster here, actually, the words say financial pinch, but when I do my reading, generally the lobster indicates to me, just like the dog, kind of that unconditional love. I'm not sure if anybody is familiar with lobsters, but they have actually seen them holding their claws together in the water, and they mate for life. So, if you're asking for a relationship question and you get a lobster in the bottom of your cup, that would be a good sign to get. So again, the animals that we're seeing here depend on what the question is and what's going on. So we're continuing the animal theme. Butterfly. So this butterfly one says, a change for the better. So butterflies to me mean a lot, as you can see by my butterflies on my wall. And my purse has lots of butterflies. My mom appears to me in this white butterflies that I see in my backyard all the time. So when I see a butterfly, sometimes it means that it's someone who has passed is just making an appearance and letting you know that they're okay and everything else. So even though this says a change for the better, it depends on what it means to you. So, and the other ones I wanted to talk about too is the ring. Again, if you have a question related to what we're talking about, feel free to do that. I appreciate you guys hanging on with me, and hopefully this is helpful. So we've got a ring here. So a ring is a marriage will take place either romantic or business. So you might be starting a new business, or things are coming together. The rings that complete circle. Now a broken ring though is the opposite, right? So partings of the way, either romantic or business. So again, you have to look at the symbol. Is it a circle? Is it a ring? Does it have any broken, like is the line complete or isn't the line complete? So those are the things that I look at when I see a circle or a ring inside the cup. And again, depending on what question we had started with. So the other ones that I really like too are my mountains and the hill. So again, how do you tell the difference? It depends on what shows up in the cup. But again, intuitively, I would feel whether or not was it a small problem with the hills, or was it a larger problem, which might be a mountain. So obviously a mountain is harder to get over than a hill is. So your problem might be bigger. Let's see what it says. Major challenge to overcome with the mountain. And then the hills is saying obstacles to overcome. So as I said, I would much rather, if it was for me, the reading, I'd much rather see a hill than a mountain, because the hills indicate that it's probably going to be a shorter amount of time to get over whatever problems there are there and stuff too. So, okay. Oh yes, and the bridge. Similar with the bridge, where we've got a bridge which is getting us over those obstacles and getting us success, where a broken bridge is obviously meaning the opposite, where we're not getting to where we want to be. So a bridge is successful outcomes to a problem. The broken bridge is unsuccessful outcomes to a problem. So yeah, you've got to look to see whether or not the bridge is fully formed in the cup, and whether or not it is leading over anything. The other one that might look similar to a bridge is the, and I don't think I have it here, is the archway as well. So an archway means that you're stepping into something new. We even think of archways for weddings and happy times. And so an archway is very positive. So there would be a difference between a bridge, which is a smaller archway, or a shorter archway, or not as high, as opposed to the bridge, or then is it a broken bridge? Okay, and we're going on to tree. Actually, I like trees as well. Trees to me represent family and stability and things being very secure. This symbol, according to this, says affairs with your family, but to me that's a positive. That's sturdy, secure, like there's roots in the ground. A tree is a nice symbol to see as well in a teacup. Hopefully this is making sense. I'm not seeing too many comments. Hopefully this is helpful. Oh, I got a couple more animals here. Let's see what we have. We got an animal theme going on. An ant. So when we think of ants, of course, we think of hard workers, and they're in that lineup and following what's going on. So it says work, achievement, and success. So seeing a little dot or ant going around is a nice symbol to see in the in your teacup. And seahorse. So seahorse, even though the card says family matters, to me usually seahorses have to do with fertility and things happening for someone else. Sorry, things working out. Yeah, fertility. So if someone had asked me about having a child, and then we see a seahorse, that is what this would mean to me, that yes, they would be having that. So again, the seahorse, because the male instead of the female is the one that has babies. So that's why I think of fertility when I see a seahorse. And one last one again, fertility, the rabbit. So according to this card, it says too much concern about sexual matters. But to me, a rabbit is good luck. A rabbit is speed. A rabbit is fertility. So that's a totally different perspective than what the person who created these cards has them being. So it's up for your interpretation, but I'm going to, even though I have a whole bunch more cards here, I'm going to leave it at that because I didn't want this to be too long, but I did want to give you guys a good idea of some of the symbols that I see and that you might see if you were going to do a tea leaf reading, and how to kind of ask some questions about them and whether or not they kind of, as I said, the broken ring, or is it a full ring, those sort of things coming together and stuff. So I'm going to remind everyone too that I've now launched my intuitive mentoring program as well. So if you'd like to step up your game and start listening a little bit more to your gut and have a way of developing some of your intuitive side, please let me know. That just launched November 1st, so I'm offering that program for a reduced price for the month of November. As well, of course, I have the tea leaf readings that are either 30 or 60 minutes that I do on Sunday, Tuesdays, or Fridays. So if you're interested in that, please let me know as well. And I thank you so much for joining me. And Karen, I will get to your question when I wrap this all up, because I do have another appointment at 7:32. So anyways, I haven't forgotten about you, Karen. Everybody else, have a good night, and I thank you so much for joining me tonight. Bye.